No, this isn't clickbait. I am 100% serious when I tell you that the infamous Jirobo of the Silent 4, who lost to Part 1 Choji, happens to have arguably the best feats of strength in the entire franchise. Of course, I'm referring to raw physical strength as opposed to genuinely being a powerful character. Kishimoto himself could make a claim like that without turning some heads. Jirobo simply ain't that tough. But enough beating around the bush, I'll get right into it. When you think of physically strong shinobi in Narutoverse, someone like Tsunade or Sakura likely comes to mind instantly. Despite the fact that strong shinobi do exist, but that's not what this video is about. With the crazy destructive abilities they showcase numerous times throughout the series, it's easy to see why people hold them in such high regard. When it comes to strength at least. Indeed, these women are pretty damn burly, but have you ever seen them, lift something heavy? Let me answer this for you. Once for Tsunade and never for Sakura. It's actually a common misconception that the medic duo relies solely on their chakra-enhanced strength for their destructive output, but this is only half right. For Sakura, this is correct. Tsunade, however, was introduced and shown to have superhuman strength long before the concept of chakra-enhanced strength was even introduced, which was an early Shippuden with Sakura. Not to say she doesn't use it to further increase her strength, that much is obvious, but without it, I'm just saying she's no slouch. But back on topic. Tsunade's only real feat involving lifting something heavy was back in her fight against Orochimaru and Kabuto, where she lifted Gamabun's giant sword to mess up Manda. Pretty impressive. But it is absolutely pathetic in comparison to Jirobo's feats. In base form, Jirobo is not only able to lift this enormous boulder above his head, but heave it towards the Sasuke retrieval squad. That alone is already better than Tsunade's feat, but trust me, we aren't done here yet. His curse mark level 1 will obviously increase his strength dramatically, but seeing as this specific iteration of Jirobo lacks the necessary feats, we're pretty much going to ignore its existence. Now into what I've been waiting to tackle since this video started. Jirobo's curse mark level 2 feats. As stated by Jirobo himself, transforming into a full power state multiplies his power by over 10 times. We have no idea how much over 10 it is, but for lowballing's sake, let's just keep it at 10. The first thing Jirobo does after transforming is lift the colossal Choji, who is canonically the size of a mountain. I shit you not, Jirobo has mountain level lifting feats. Not only that, but he tosses the same Choji a fair distance. All this was with one hand. That's also not mentioning the fact that Jirobo showed no visual struggle lifting Choji whatsoever, unlike when he previously lifted the boulder in his base form. This is apparently a casual lift. Imagine how much weight would be required for Jirobo to not only use two hands, but to struggle in doing so. I imagine at the very least around 3 times the weight of mountain-sized Choji. So yeah, he's probably a lot more than 10 times his base strength. Of course, while Jirobo has non-debatably the best lifting feat in the entire series, I've yet to cover his striking force compared to the likes of others. While his most impressive demolition feat is pretty impressive, it pales in comparison to the enormous craters that Sakura and Tsunade have created throughout the franchise. I have no doubt that Jirobo could have created a larger crater, but due to his lack of panel time, we only got to see him destroy Solar Earth a handful of times. However, these feats are pretty much always unfair to compare and contrast with one another. Let me explain. Sakura's most devastating feat, for example, is right after she unlocked her Byakugo and created a huge crater with a strikingly tall dust cloud. When you see how small the bodies are in relation to the sheer size of the dust cloud, you'll realize how truly impressive this is. While this dwarfs the crater Jirobo made, luckily for our rotund friend, these feats are incomparable. You see, Sakura and Tsunade, for that matter, have a habit of jumping into the air before delivering their strikes to the ground, resulting in a much larger AoE than if they would have started lowest to the ground, similar to Jirobo seen here. Leaping to the air and thrusting towards the ground creates motion. Motion creates force, and that same force considerably amplifies the destructive capabilities of their strikes. This is how the 4 Raikage A attains such powerful striking capabilities. If I'm standing upright, and I accidentally drop my phone, there's a possibility I'll only receive minor scuffs or cracks, and if I'm lucky it'll be unscathed. Leaping 15 feet into the air, and hurling it towards the ground on the other hand, will certainly result in a much more damaged phone. See what I'm getting at here? We seldom see Sakura and Tsunade start at a resting position and use their strengths to create massive destruction. Of course you have a few examples here and there of them doing things like that, but they're on a much lower scale and similar in size to Jirobo's best feat. This pretty much proves my point that they need to leap into the air before delivering their strikes for maximum potency. Tsunade does have one feat in particular that I do want to address. It stands out because she created a mildly deep fissure with a single finger while fighting Naruto back when she was first introduced. While this is certainly mind-blowing and makes you question how powerful she could ever be if she used her entire fist towards the ground, it would also be inaccurate to compare her to the rest of her feats. Basically, unlike pretty much every other ground destruction feat, this one was aimed towards the ground with the sole intent to destroy it. Generally, these kinds of attacks are aimed at a person, and the ground getting destroyed is simply a side effect of having that much strength. I can guarantee that with the mindset to destroy this terrain, Jirobo's crater will be a lot larger. So, in conclusion, due to the fact that Jirobo is decisively ahead of them in regards to lifting capabilities as well as having feats that scale relatively even to their destructive feats, if we only take into account the fair comparisons, I can honestly say that Jirobo is probably stronger than these two. Sure, he's a much weaker shinobi when compared to Warwick, Tsunade, and Sakura, but Jirobo can hang with some pretty respectable foes in early Shippuden. Hell, I honestly think he could beat the Sakura who fought sorcery relatively easily, but that's a topic for another day. Do you agree with my verdict, or did I overlook something crucial to the comparison? Comment below, I have no problem with being proven wrong. This is the first YouTube video I've ever created that wasn't absolute nonsense, so any feedback would be appreciated. If you like what you saw and are interested in seeing more content, please like and subscribe, it'll be greatly appreciated. Thanks for watching, I'll see you all next time.